Getting a man to love you is easy. Only be honest about your wants as woman. Stand nude before the glass with him so that he sees himself the stronger one and believes it so. And you, so much more, softer, younger, lovelier. Admit your admiration. Notice the perfection of his limbs, his eyes reddening under shower, the shy walk across the bathroom floor, dropping towels, and the jerky way he urinates. All the fond details that make him male and your only man. Gift him all. Gift him what makes you woman. The scent of long hair, the mask of sweat between the breasts, the warm shock of menstrual blood, and all your endless female hungers. Oh yes, getting a man to love is easy, but living without him afterward may have to be faced. A living without life when you move around, meeting strangers, with your eyes that gave up their search, with ears that hear only his last voice, calling out your name, and your body, which once under his touch had gleamed like burnished brass, now drab and destitute.
Hello. 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 How do you do? അവിടുന്ന് എടുത്തോളം എലിയമ്മ എടുത്ത് നോക്കി പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഞാൻ അവിടെ പോകും. ചിരിക്ക മോളെ, എന്തിനാ എന്നോടൊക്കെ വയ്യാത്ത ആളുകൾ ചിരിക്കുക ചിരിക്കുക. യു സ്മൈൽ. എനിക്ക് പേടിയാ ചിരിക്കാത്ത മുഖങ്ങള്. എനിക്ക് പേടി എനിക്കറിയാം അല്ലേ ചിരിക്കാത്ത. ഞാൻ വല്ല കുറ്റം ചെയ്തു. Actually bedroom.
2 room it.
പിന്നെ ഹോസ്പിറ്റലൊക്കെ വിട്ടുകൊണ്ട് പോകുന്നു. ബാംഗ്ലൂർ സെറ്റായല്ലോ. ബാംഗ്ലൂർ പിന്നിലത്തെ ലൈറ്റ് നാലായിട്ട് പിന്നിലത്തെ പിന്നിലത്തെ ലൈറ്റ് ആണോ? അത് നന്ന വേഗം ഓർമ്മ വരും അല്ലേ? അത് ഓർക്കാം. പിന്നെ should I keep the cash here for you? Are you coming? അല്ല അത് സിം കാർഡ്. അതിലുള്ള എടുത്തോളൂ. Something I will keep here. I will keep. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Great. Sajita, if film documentary chamber, are you using my electricity?
illa
Because bada bhayankara
electricity use ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല.
നല്ല vacuum cleaner ഉപയോഗിച്ചപ്പോൾ ഒക്കെ ലൈറ്റ് പോയി.
ഒരു ബാറ്ററി ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നു.
ഇത് നന്നായി ബാറ്ററി
അതുപോലെ ലൈറ്റും ഇല്ല.
എന്തൊക്കെയോ കാണിക്കും. അധികം എനിക്ക് വയ്യല്ലോ.
ഫ്ലാഷും
written so many excellent points which have moved us, and so I mean, if we should say anything that is objectionable to you, please forgive it. It is only because of.
Why should you say anything objectionable to somebody who is old enough to be a mother and who has not done you any harm?
No,
so don't worry.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone who walks into my house will feel cruel towards me. It's impossible. But still we take precautions because there are always death threats, you know. I don't know for what. Maybe it is something to do with religion. Maybe it is something to do with what I talk about women. So I have my personal security officer always here, and she has a pistol. I mean, because there is always a threat that they're going to finish me off. Either it's from the Hindus or from the Muslims, whoever. So whichever you look at it, you know, and I am actually above all religions. I think religion is a myth. Hello? Phone card. Tell me. So you see, I am very frank, and I speak the truth. But when I write stories, I add fiction. But when you ask me a question and you don't want the truth, don't ask that question, because there will always be the truth. I am an addict, isn't it, Sajita? And that's why I've hurt people, because I can't but answer. Okay. Tell me.
First, this is a question coming from Kutti Revathi.
Okay. Kutti Revathi, why can't you ask? You should ask.
I am not very fluent in
അതെ ശരി. കുറച്ചൊക്കെ തമിഴ് എനിക്ക് ഇവിടെ ഇൻ്റർപ്രറ്റർ ഉണ്ട്. തമിഴ് പറഞ്ഞാലും അവർ കുറച്ച് പറയും കേട്ടോ. പറയും.
And the poetry composition and form and the language, all are arising from the life.
പറയും. What's it? All are life
arising from the lifestyle, and it has the cross section of the poet. Is it so?
Naturally, in poetry, I suppose one tends to be autobiographical. In poetry, in fiction, you have enormous freedom. You add on other people's experiences, you do. But when you write poetry, I think it's like a personal prayer to God, and to God you don't tell lies. That way. In Malayalam, you will call it samvadam with Devam. The concept of God is very dear to me. Very dear to me. Although the concept of religion has lost its luster, and now I feel religions are nothing. Religion is a myth.
We'd like to know how you feel about present day women writing in India and literature.
I think women are very lucky, because when a book is written by a woman, I think people are curious to know what they talk, and a lot of prominence comes to them these days. It wasn't that easy for a woman writer when I was writing, when I was a beginner. Now it's easy for them because things have changed. And if it's an Indian woman and she goes abroad for any contest, she'll win. They're afraid of India. After this, creation of the nuclear, all that, there's nothing much. Compared to writers who died years ago, like Catherine Mansfield, Virginia Woolf, what are these women worth? You can all sell them on a tilas, nothing. They'll be worth nothing. Only the Raddi newspaper which we sell. Because nothing, it's not immortal. There have been women writers who were immortal because they played with emotion. They sold us emotion, not clever words or anything. There's nothing to do with language. It is emotion. There are certain books which are immortal. They will remain. Mostly written by men, but few women also attempted, and they were great successes. But this is just smart stuff being turned out. Just as smart as, you will see even in summer some Indian girls wearing tight jeans, because it's fashionable. And they go home and take it off, and there are rashes here. They go on scratching. Their mothers have told me, you try to be very smart in the American style, and there you write something. You see, it might get sold in places like America, but it's going to last. Those characters, they don't remain within your head. You see, the other things haunt you. Certain things like Anna Karenina. That's not written by a woman, but still I'm talking of such. Emma Bovary, Madame Bovary, books like that. Manon de Lescaut. All these are classics. These characters don't leave your head. They're forever there haunting you. These characters. Dante fell in love with Beatrice. Beatrice will haunt us. He's talking of Beatrice walking round the mountain, going slowly. That's enough. It haunts you. Do the modern novels have any haunting character? Some smart talking character. So anyone you can see on the road. Pedestrian. Only truth can haunt. Are you going to speak the truth? Then it haunts you. Truth has a dhwani. When you ring something, there will be a dhwani. You can hear that way. You see, Emily Bronte wrote with her sister Charlotte Bronte. Charlotte Bronte could sell. She got awards. She was lionized when she went to New York. Emily Bronte was a genius. Nobody bought a book in those days. Nobody talked of that book. But that is a work of a genius. Wuthering Heights. If you read it, you'll get goose flesh. Even in thinking of that, it's such a book. It's not a lucky book, that's all. Charlotte Bronte was lucky. There are lucky books. Means lucky, people think luck means money. So Charlotte Bronte became rich, and she was wined and dined and taken out. But Emily, poor thing, died of TB. She was a genius. There are certain people like that, and they remain, and we are grateful to them because they've enriched culture.
Among the modern writers, excuse me.
I'm sorry, they must be frying masala sambar pudi or. Ade sarle alla Vishala ആ വാതിലടിക്കുക വറക്കണ കാരണേ. എന്നിട്ട് ആ എക്സോസ്റ്റ് ഫാൻ ഉണ്ട് അവിടെ, ചോട്ട് അതിട്ടാ ആ പോക്കറ്റ് പോയപ്പോൾ സാരമില്ല മോളെ, ഡോണ്ട് വറി, ഇറ്റ് വിൽ കം. I keep getting, when they fry something, I'm finished.
Because I've studied
Tell
the
me.
nuclear weapons program. Recently, I was at a panel discussion.
I am lucky because I never studied, and so I can express my thoughts, my own original ideas. I am one of the luckiest women writers, probably the luckiest, because I have not been influenced by any study, and only from my life. And so I will speak what I think is the truth. We cannot afford to be weak. This I'll tell you. Gandhiji believed that every Daridra Narayan should be kept happy with a charka, and everybody should be Daridra Narayan but happy. I believe that every Indian should become a rich man, a rich woman. This is my ideal, I'm telling you. And I don't like the way some castes are called Harijans, God's children. If Gandhiji at that time was such a powerful influence, almost like God, because I know that in my house, Malabar house, Gandhiji was in the puja room. They used to throw tulsi at him also, Shiva, Krishna, Gandhiji. So he was a god. At that time, he could have said anything and people would have believed. Why didn't he say, from today, all the Hindus are Brahmins? Why didn't he say that? And you could have distributed one sacred thread to everybody. It won't cost much. You are making so much of thread, khadi or whatever. So he could have, with one stroke of his hand, he could have made every Hindu a Brahmin, high caste. You see, I too fell into the trap thinking religion matters. You see, somebody very dear to me said, please become this. We'll live together, we'll be very happy. And it was only a farce. It was only to get a celebrity into Islam. So, I can speak. I have been deceived, a brilliant woman like me, a poet, deceived by one man. So we women are victims forever, victims. Anyone can come and pretend to love and cheat us. You see, this I am speaking out for all women. Nobody can escape that. You see, somebody comes and says, I give you my love, for a whole life I will protect you, I will be with you, hold your hand, I love you. That's enough for a woman. That's all. But they are just trifles. It's all personal. If somebody loves you, you'll join. Some Hottentot comes, suppose it were a Jew, I love you very much, I would have been a Jewess. Ara Hindu now? Tamil Nadu na kuttolu. So it's just that simple person. So people ask me, why did you have to choose that above Hinduism, which is, I said Hinduism has its own points, but no Hindu came forward and said, I am going to look after you till you die, I love you. And nobody came. I was a widow. My husband died 11 years ago. I became lonely. My children were here. Children went away. So there was nobody, And if someone were to move in who is very good at acting, I would fall. That's why I am mentioning it, because there are young women here. Don't be misled by men's talk. And I am talking because there are two men. Don't deceive women. Very cruel thing to do.
He's actually told me something like that very recently.
Don't do it, don't deceive. I may not believe in religion, but I believe in Shabam. Shabam irka. Don't. It is terrible.
I'd like to know about the places you have traveled.
I don't, except China, Japan and Russia. I've traveled everywhere else. I have visited many universities in Australia, Germany, America, Canada, Jamaica, University of Kingston, Singapore, all these places. But China and Japan I have not. Japan I can, because I have been invited. My book has been translated into Japanese, and it is a non-detailed textbook or something. So I have been invited. They will give me comfort and all. No? But how can I go? I'm old. And if I travel, I must travel with my doctor. Otherwise, I can't. Last time I took a woman and she was terrible. Whole night, till about 1 she sat talking to me. I can't talk, After 8 o'clock I must lie in bed and I must fall asleep by 9. And now I have decided I'll only travel with a man. Because they won't talk. For instance, they might go looking for women or drink or something. They'll go 8 o'clock, say goodbye, and I'll never take a woman doctor again.
You should raise some
Oh my God, I can't stand it. The gossip that goes on, Ratri, I can't shoo her out of my bedroom. She'll say, I'm a woman. Anyway, I'm sitting at the foot of your bed. I'll massage your feet and gossip with you. I don't want gossip at night. Because I've got to prepare for the next day's conference, isn't it? So I was determined. So somebody, for the next trip, she phoned, I believe you're going to New York. Let me come with you. No, never, I said. Never a woman, only a man. They said, oh, there'll be a scandal. Okay, I'm 70 years, no scandal is going to hurt me. It will be lovely if I have a love affair. It's none of their business, no? If I have a love affair with my doctor, it's my business. And only the doctor's wife should object, isn't it, Sajita? Not anybody. How can you help it if people fall in love? If you are a very charming person, Sajita, and you are the greatest intellectual that person has met, and you smell good, he will fall. But it's inevitable. You must expect it, isn't it? You spend 2 days with somebody, and naturally they will fall in love. This is all natural. I don't consider it to be a great sin. Getting loved by people. So tell me.
Is this what you had in mind when you started off your career?
When I started my career, I never anticipated so much of happiness out of my life. I thought forever I would be a little bit sad, always, on the other side, fighting, I thought it will be a life of conflict and there will be so many things which I have to fight for, But I realized it's as if everything has gone out of me. I'm happy. Surprisingly, I find myself very happy, contented. So tell me.
Yeah, coming back to this literary side of you, you have expressed sexuality, female sexuality, expression of female sexuality has been a taboo.
What taboo? Do you think you want to go to the morgue and make love with a corpse? No. Then why do women pretend to be corpses? You see, an ideal woman, virtuous woman, is supposed to be always, tearful, cry. On the TV serials, ideal amma or woman, always crying and frigid there. You see, no sex feeling at all. Then what are the husbands getting out of them? I don't know. You're driving them to brothels, if you are like that, isn't it? There is sexuality and it's a very beautiful thing. And let us acknowledge it. It's a weapon. It is the greatest weapon a woman can wield. Her lust for her man, not for others, for her man. A woman is not built like a man. A man can have sexuality and satisfied with anybody. That's what my friend told me in Paris. Her name is Madame Tronson. She's the Lok Seva president in Paris. She's telling me, Kamala, men are like that. They can make love to a chicken. She told me this. They're not like us. We have to be deeply in love to a man. There should be deep commitment before we can allow him to touch us, That's the difference. I have to be totally in love with the man before my sexuality is expressed, isn't it, Sajita? And thank God I don't have that kind of love affair now. It would kill me. I'm so happy because my health also is important now. It's not enough. But I will never deny it. It's a beautiful force. sexuality. And there's no use denying it. If you deny it, you lose your beauty. A woman's beauty depends so much upon the hormonal balance of her body. And if she doesn't feel sexual at all, then she's lost her luster. It's like a house with all the lights put out. House there, no lamps. See? Sexuality is beautiful.
Yeah.
Radha and Krishna, Gita Govinda. My God, it's so beautiful. And it is sex, isn't it? It's still so beautiful. So that is the image I carry. Gita Govinda. It's the only textbook for sex which I have read. Some people said, we'll buy you some textbooks and said you can refresh your knowledge. I said, no. Let it stop with Gita Govinda. That's enough. So that I see it as a divine sport, not beyond.
Yeah, when you converted to Islam, you made statements like, Islam gives security to...
Of course,
but
that is also true.
Yeah.
Because my Islam man promised security. I will look after you. I will give you emotional security, the physical security. And I really thought, that's what a woman wants, really and truly. I would give everything away for a man who will come and say, I am going to look after you till you die. I will love you. And you don't even have to write columns or stories. I'll go with him. Even if I am 85, if a man comes and says, Kamala, I'm going to look after you till the end of your days. You don't have to write again. I'll go with him. I'm tired of writing. I'm tired of working for a living. Now my eyes are also weak. I hate to work. Still I go on, something or other.
Read there, even the sun was looking like a
Sun was not like a sun at all. It was a huge red orb. And it was at 6 o'clock. It's the most magnificent thing I've seen. Because I think I'm childish too, I want a sign. I said, oh Allah, really, if I have to be Islam, show me a sign, like children demanding sign. So suddenly, when the car moved out, a huge red thing, like orange colored or flame colored, started moving along with the car left side on the horizon. So I said, can't be the sun at 6 o'clock. And it moved, and so I said, stop the car. The driver stopped. The sun stopped. Again, and the person who was seated in the car was the one who talked of Islam to me and wanted me to. He and his wife were also there. So now the question will be, why did you still hope to get him for his? Because he was a much married man, and Islam they allow 4 wives. So I thought, really, truly, so it's the truth. He had 2 wives, and I was going to be the 3rd. So I learnt Arabic. I brought out my book recently. It was released in Kerala by Yusuf al-Qaradawi of the Qatar University, greatest Islamic scholar. He came, released it. He said every Muslim should read it. It's not poetry, but it's a prayer to Allah. It's called Ya Allah. I have finished. I was determined. I will show them. I will show this. I will show this. Which woman has written a poetry book addressed to Allah? Only me. Some record, no? You must give it to the Guinness Book. So something came out of that love, no? Disappointment and all. Finally, something came out of it. A beautiful book came out of it, addressed to Allah. And now I am freed from religion, the bondage of religion. But I cannot be free from God. I have absorbed Him. And I pray. At 3 a.m. I get up. I started it then, 4 years ago. And now too, I wake up invariably by that time. Then I wash my face and sit there in prayers. And it is like talking to one who is very close. Maybe this is the real love affair I'm having. I talk. I communicate. Without a language. We don't need a language to communicate with God. So that, I've come to that state, but I had to travel a long way. I had to get converted to Islam. learn Islam, learn Arabic, write a book on Allah, and then come back to the realization, come back to this state when religion doesn't matter at all. But then they will ask, then why are you covering it? It became a habit with me. Now, you see, I can't afford to, not afford, where's the time to dye all this, hair and who knows. They say, you are goddess and you are that and this. So you see, I can't sit and dye every strand. I'll fall ill. So this is the best thing, no? They'll think I'm quite young. And my hair is not cut. Hair is not cut. I still have so much of hair. But of course, grey. Many people say, oh, what luck. You still have. They thought, I have no hair. They thought I have no teeth, only dentures. Imagine me wearing false teeth. I'll never wear anything false in my life. That I can tell you. Some girls came, little girls, came last week from St. Teresa's. They said, right opposite their college, if you go and see, it's called Convent Road or something. I believe there is a shop that sells fake breasts, pink foam breasts and pink foam buttocks, only $64, and they wear that, so you become like that. Then it is actually meant for Bharatanatyam dancers. All these dancers, when they dance, great famous people, they all have perfect bottoms. So I was asking these girls, how do they have such perfect bottoms round? Oh, Amma, you don't know this, it's very cheap. They sell, you can choose. I said, I can't. I don't need to, no? Who am I trying to impress with buttocks? I said, nobody will look at my buttocks. But I must see them, no? I have never seen such things, Said like this, pointed breasts and round backs. All these dancers wear, I believe. When you dance, they wear. So I said, you bring them. There is a girl here who works for me. She's 55. She has no bottom at all. No. So I said, let me buy for her. So that when she goes out for Onam or something, let her have perfect back. So they're bringing this week. I'll pay them, whatever. Ammu, onnuva. It's for Ammu. Rest have big things. Ammu, see, she's very thin, no? So Ammu ni body so I could come. And back also she will have. Vangam, but kittle vanga, the parukan. But kittle, Apa Ammu ni idumar randanam. Next time you come, she'll have. And at the back like this. I am going to buy because let people think she's having beautiful women to look after. This is a very nice girl, but I thought let her have, no? When there are people coming for Doordarshan and all, let her have big present, no? Why not? That's great fun. I didn't know they're so cheap. I would have bought. I could have bought when I was very young, no? Like this. Yeah? Just open the door because some boy, 1 minute I have to give him something. Just keep it away. Some TV. What TV is it? Documentary. This is light, le?
Yeah, light.
Pocket, it should go into my pocket. That's the main thing.
This slightly bigger.
ചെറുതല്ലേ ഇത് നോക്കി തന്നെയാണോ
അത് നോക്കിയത്
നല്ല ഭംഗിയുണ്ട് അല്ലേ കളറൊക്കെ ഇത് മതിയല്ലേ മോനെ ഐ ഫർഗെറ്റ് തിങ്സ് സോ മോൻ കയ്യിൽ വെക്കുന്നു പിന്നെ അത് വാങ്ങണമല്ലോ സിം കാർഡൊക്കെ എയർടെൽ അല്ലേ പോക്കറ്റ് ഇതിൽ പോക്കറ്റിൽ കിടക്കണം അതെ കിടക്കണം
ഈ പേരിലാണ്
എല്ലാം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു ഒക്കെ ഞാൻ
അത് ഈ പേര് തന്നെ എടുക്കാം
BPL ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു
ഈ പേര് തന്നെ എടുക്കാം ഈ പേര് തന്നെ
പേര്
കമലദാസൻ.
ആ അത് മതി
ആ പേര് തന്നെ.
കേട്ടോ.
ഒരു ഫോട്ടോ വേണമില്ല.
ഫോട്ടോ വേണോ?
ആ
അതെന്തിനാ പറയുക?
എല്ലാം അവരുടെ റെക്കോർഡിന്. മറ്റേ എല്ലാവർക്കും അങ്ങനെയല്ലല്ലോ.
ഇവിടെ
ആ
ഇതെന്താ?
അത് ബാക്കിയുള്ള അവര് അത് മതി. ബാക്കി പേപ്പർ എടുക്കുക. ആ പിന്നെ തന്നാൽ മതി.
നോക്കട്ടെ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ തരാം. കുറച്ച് നേരം പിടിക്കാതെ
ആ ഇത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഞാൻ വൈകുന്നേരം കളിക്കാം. അത് പിന്നെ കൊടുത്താലും മതി. പാൻ നമ്പർ
നോക്കട്ടെ. ഒരു മിനിറ്റ് കിട്ടുമെങ്കിൽ ആ
ആ.
ഇല്ല
ആ ഫയലുണ്ടോ? ഇത് ഇൻകം ടാക്സ് അല്ല. പേപ്പേഴ്സ് ഇല്ല അതല്ല.
ഒറ്റ ആളുടെ പറഞ്ഞ എക്സെപ്റ്റ് ചൂട് കേട്ടോ. ഞാൻ പറയുന്നേ ആരോടും പറയരുത്. വലിയ ശല്യം. രാത്രിയൊക്കെ ഫോൺ ചെയ്യാം. എവിടുന്ന് കിട്ടി? ഓഫീസിൽ നിന്ന് കിട്ടി.
അതിന്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ വെച്ച്
ഞാൻ പറയേ അല്ല ഇത് അവർക്ക് ഫോട്ടോ എടുക്കുന്നത് ബുക്ക് കാണിക്കും. പിന്നെ
അത് ഉള്ളിൽ വെച്ചേക്കണം. അമ്മ ഇത് ഉള്ളിൽ വെച്ചേക്കണം.
ഇത് അമ്മയ്ക്ക് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടാ. അത്
വേണ്ട ഇത് ഉള്ളിൽ ഇത് രണ്ടും ഉള്ളിൽ.
ഇത് ഇവിടെ വിശാലത്തിൽ ഇപ്പോഴും എല്ലാ കാര്യം ഇതൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ നന്നായിട്ട് പ്രയത്നം പറ്റില്ല. ഹൗ മച്ച്
ശരി ഞാൻ കൊണ്ടുവരാം. വൈകുന്നേരം അമ്മ കൊണ്ടുവരാം. ചാർജ് ചെയ്തിട്ട്
ബുക്ക് അവിടെ
ഇന്നെ വായിക്കുന്നത്.
ആണോ? രഘു
ഞാൻ പോയിട്ട് വരാം.
ഷുഡ്
ആ, നമ്മുടെ പിന്നെ.
എന്റെ റൂം എന്റെ ദേവാലയം പെർമിഷൻ കേട്ടിട്ട് എന്റെ സ്റ്റഡി എടുത്തോളം കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറും എഴുത്തും എടുക്കണ്ട ഇത് സാഹിത്യ അക്കാദമി ഡൽഹി. സാഹിത്യ അക്കാദമി ഡൽഹി. But that's not for Malayalam, that's for English, collected poems.
കേരള സാഹിത്യ അക്കാദമി
അത് fellowship ഉണ്ട് അവിടെ. They have given fellowship and
Now you do paintings now?
all sold. If I paint one, immediately people come and offer rupees and write. I have been commissioned actually by palette people, Cyril Jacob, to give 30 paintings because people have ordered. And Cyril Jacob, you can ask him on the phone, I can give. And, but I am delaying. They've already ordered. Immediately I get 20,000 or something. But that's not for the superiority of the painting. Painting is useless. It's for my signature. I must be frank. Sajita, end painting at that. Only nothing in it. Some nude women. But I write ka Malayalam. Adana. Cyril Varma. Chechira signature. So I can't paint. എൻ്റെ മൊബൈലിൽ നിന്ന് ആരും പറയുന്നില്ല. രാത്രി വിളിക്കും.
നമ്മളാർക്കും കൊടുക്കാറുണ്ട്.
ഞാൻ കൊടുത്തിട്ടല്ല, ആരൊക്കെയോ എങ്ങനെയൊക്കെയോ മനസ്സിലാവും.
ഫോണുള്ള
വയ്യ.
രാത്രി
അവിടെ പച്ച നിറത്തിൽ കണ്ണിന് മരുന്ന്. ജയലളിത ഡോക്യുമെന്ററി എടുത്തോ? ഇപ്പം മെലിഞ്ഞു പഴയ തടിയിലല്ലേ? കണ്ട് കുറച്ച് ചെറുതായിണ്ട്. പേടി എല്ലാവർക്കും അല്ലേ ജയലളിതന്? ക്ലാസ്സിൽ എല്ലാവർക്കും പേടി. എന്താ സ്കിൻ ജയലളിതല്ലേ? ബ്യൂട്ടിഫുൾ സ്കിന്ന്. operate ചെയ്തു 2 months ago, Bangalore. ശരിയല്ല. So I started to water. A third operation. But if I get eyesight also, that will be too much for anybody to wear. I'll become arrogant. Health and they remove some things. Balance is shariya.
You are writing anything now?
Yeah. I write poetry, I write stories. I'm writing, actually helping with the biographer. She phones and then I dictate at night and send the cassette to her. She's a Canadian. So the book is
Annie Cothens.
Merrily Weisbord. Another biographer is coming today or tomorrow, Debbie Cordonia. She's writing about craft and technique and poetry. I have 3 biographers. Another is German, Ingrid von Heiss. But today, Debbie Cordonia will write. Her book is entirely about literature, poetry, technique, craft. Merrilies is about my personal life. She's my friend. I go to Canada often. ആ പച്ച അല്ല ഒരു ബ്രൗൺ കവറിൽ മറ്റേ ഇന്നലെ ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂ ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ വായിച്ച ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് കവിതകൾ അത് ആ കവറിൽ ഏതെങ്കിലും ടൈപ്പ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അവിടെ തന്നെ മേശപ്പുറത്ത് അല്ല ഇത് മലയാളം അവിടെ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ആ 2 കവറിരിക്കുന്നില്ലേ ബ്രൗണും മറ്റും അതിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് ടൈപ്പ് ചെയ്ത 3 പേപ്പർ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ഇവർക്ക് മലയാളം അറിയില്ലല്ലോ അതർവൈസ് മലയാളം Yeah, modern feminists hate males. That I can't understand. They think I am a great feminist leader, so they come here. Oh, come on, join us in that, join us. You see, I am not anti-male. I think without a man, what kind of life can we lead? I mean, when you are young and I like men because my children are all males, 3 sons. And, I've enjoyed their company. I've enjoyed my husband's company. I've enjoyed everything. And I enjoyed my lover's company. So I can't denounce. I think they are wonderful. You should have a man around the place. It helps a lot, Somebody to come and hug you. And if there are steps, the man will carry you up. A woman can't do it, Carry up. English. Thank you. Latest poetry. Okay. This is my guess, right or wrong. Words written out by poets and prophets are wise, but wiser still remain the truths that are not written. Dig into the nest of taproots to unbury the revelations that sprout their heady bloom on the other side of earth. Travel inwards, devouring time, burrowing into the myriad layers of the planet's body, beyond the skin, beyond the bones and the marrow, to the nadir of life, the hot dark cellar of loneliness. Old age is a distorting mirror. One cannot recognize oneself in its glaze. Who would have paid the price to come as a tired spectator, carrying the child within to this ultimate circus? That's because you don't expect ugliness, and suddenly you realize it's a distorting mirror. You come to a circus where they are showing distorting mirrors, and carrying the child within is, I am old, but I still feel like a child, that child remains. Wherever I go, that child is laughing at things, laughing it off, doesn't matter, So that child is still the same. I cannot remove that child from me. ഞാൻ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് കവിത വായിച്ചു കൊടുക്കുക. The passing of a typhoon. Have you heard of typhoon? The wind. എന്താ മലയാളം ഇംഗ്ലീഷിൽ തമിഴിൽ പറയാ ആണോ? Hearken to the cry of crickets in the summer air, crickets in bamboo groves, crickets in the ripened fields of rice, perhaps a forerunner, this strident clamor of the typhoons to pass my way. What fools to talk like that when I'm reciting. Perhaps a forerunner, this strident clamor of the typhoons to pass my way, to the vast cyclone of the mind, where cruelty plows the blood-red soil, and ill winds from nether worlds sow nightmares to suit the age. Emotions still exist, but battered out of shape, shallow, sequestered pools, a muddy waste that a past shared with offspring and a mate left behind, its meager debris, its messages still undeciphered. So, Sajita, I haven't lost my poetry. I can be old. I still manage with this. I go to places, foreign universities, I read, and they honor me. You see, here they make fun of me, saying she may be mad, talking about a man she loved and all. She must be mad. She must be dreaming. They say that, huh? Actually, they think I'm fantasizing, So I can't show everybody my lover's face. I have a boyfriend, his face I can show. Beautiful face. But I don't have a lover. Grief has a logic inexplicable. In the gaudy bazaars of the human mind, you tread on moist, clammy dirt roads that smell of butcher's wares, and bits of tinsel from bygone festivals, ground in by the stamp of feet, gleam, a tardy gleam, and the glass bangles gleam, and scream out a call back to tradition. Bangles for the brides, bangles for the loyal wives. The poor are always traditional, snug in the inherited memory of benevolent, all-seeing gods and chaste women, Sati, Savitri, Mandodari, Sita. Good. So you see, don't worry, nobody can beat me. I'll go on and on. In poetry, who can beat me? Nobody. It's like a Cinderella's shoe. It is left behind because at midnight hour I came away. So the prince is walking around with a glass shoe. Will it fit you? Will it fit you? And finally they came to me and said, my God, it fits her. She's the right one. I'm the right one.